Hello, welcome to Community Viewpoint. I'm your host for this segment, Maria Guerra. I am so happy to be joined by two ladies who are just wonderful for this community. We're so lucky to have them coming on and telling us about some very, very important information and some programs that are going on. I have Miss Carla Began and Miss Angela Rhodes. Hello, welcome.
Hey, Maria.
Hi.
Hello. Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having us.
much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
So tell me about the grant. Tell me about why you're here, where you're from, and the grant that you're working on.
Okay. I work at Nye Communities Coalition here in Prump, and the mission of NYCC is to grow hope in our community, which is healthy organizations, people, and environments. So we're completely grant funded, and I'm the grant manager of a grant that we received this year from the Department of Health and Human Services, and it's based on the child death review. So every year there's 100 children in Nevada that die from preventable deaths, and a team gets together after each death and tries to strategize on what could have prevented that death.
And move forward so that maybe we can prevent the future
Right.
of those things. Okay, all right. So what are the leading causes of preventable death for children?
Great question. Number one is non-motor vehicle accidents, so like choking, drowning, overdose. Number two is homicide, and number three is suicide. So the grant campaign that we're trying to do, the educational campaign, is based on three parts of that. So we're trying to do crib safety and education, drowning prevention education, and suicide prevention education.
And there's a lot of components to each of those things. So this is a huge grant, and this is a huge undertaking. And
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the crib program, but the viewers are not. So do you want to start there?
Sure. So
And
back in
just
the 90s,
tell us about that one.
okay, so back in the 90s, you may remember that they had that back to sleep campaign where
Yes.
you stopped putting your children on their stomach, you put them on their backs to sleep. And that has actually helped reduce the rate of SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome, by over 50%. But there's still 2,500 kids in America that die in their cribs every year. And so we're trying to educate people beyond putting them on their backs. We're trying to give them safe sleeping practices. So,
Because a lot of times, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but a lot of times children don't have a safe place to sleep.
right.
So I know there is another component to the class, like not just I know they teach education about like co-sleeping, right? I know that's very dangerous.
Right. So among the safe sleeping practices is that a baby sleeps alone on their back in a crib. And we ask everybody to remove anything that might be a choking hazard. So pillows, blankets, toys, bumper pads, or having cords near the crib. It's really important to share your room with your baby, but not your bed. By sharing your room, that lowers SIDS rates by another 50%. So because you're in the room and you can hear them if something's going on.
Yes.
So at NYCC, we do have another program that offers crib safety classes. So anybody that's in their third trimester of pregnancy or they have a newborn, they can come to a 1-hour class on crib safety and they will receive a free crib. So
That's awesome.
If anybody wants that information, Pam Welch on our team is the person that you would call NYCC and ask about that.
That is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is so awesome. And one of the things that I like that's part of that is that isn't breastfeeding like one of the things that will reduce it, because you're waking up so much to feed the baby, so therefore there's multiple checks on the baby during the night.
Right. And Pam goes over all of that in her class.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I always try to get a plug for that whenever I can. So
me too.
So I like that that's part of the class.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. So what's the phone number? We'll say it several times through the show, but what's the phone number to get a hold of?
So Pam's phone number,
there.
NYCC is 775-727-9970. And her extension, Pam's extension is 230.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So when you have to organize this whole thing, what goes into the campaign? And then we'll go into the drowning prevention. What goes into the campaign? You're in charge of so much? So there's the program, and then there's probably so many awareness programs,
Absolutely.
and then there's also the review itself.
Mm-hmm. So we are doing a media blitz campaign kind of on this, and on NICC, Facebook, Instagram, all of the social media outlets, we are putting out monthly, or actually they're doing weekly announcements on crib safety. And so you can help us out by sharing that information. All of your viewers can share that information from the Hope NICC on all of the social media, because it really helps us get the information out, and saving kids is what it's all about. So if you can just share and save a kid, yes.
Yes. So having said that, everybody can go on NICC's Facebook page and like the page.
Yep.
And is there other social media platforms besides Facebook that NICC is on?
Yep, both Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome. So go on all of those, everybody. Like them immediately, share them with all your friends, and tell them to share. So it'll be like multiply, like the Brady Bunch there, if anybody knows what I'm talking about.
Hope NICC.
And so on and so on.
Right.
NICC. Right. So all the posts are there, and those are all shareable. So any social media, they can just go like your page, and then they'll be notified of all the ads, and then they can go share them from there.
Right. And that's what we
half the battle is letting people.
We go back to our funder and say, hey, look at all the shares that we got. Look at all the likes we got, because that's what they want, is they want to see the results.
Yeah, because half the battle is knowing that there's a problem, and then seeing how they can be involved, and then parents changing those behaviors.
Right.
So that's awesome. So what's the next part? I know there's so there's so much in each part. I know.
So the second part is drowning prevention. So 23% of childhood drownings happen during family gatherings near a pool. I don't know if your viewers knew that, but I did not know that before I started working on this campaign.
So scary.
Where we assume that somebody else and another adult is watching the children. So make sure that you're watching your child when they're near a pool. Don't get distracted.
Yeah.
Drowning isn't like it is in the movies. They're not like, oh, I'm drowning. No, it's silent. They go under the water. 20 seconds is all it takes. So if you're responding to a text, that takes about 20 seconds. So don't be distracted by your phone. Other things that we are teaching about is making sure that there's a security fence around your pool. And teach children, everybody needs to stay away from the drains, because it pulls their hair in, and then you're underwater. Make sure that you're teaching your children to swim. That reduces drowning in pools by 88% if children know how to swim. And also learn CPR. It doesn't matter how long your child has been underwater, you need to start CPR and call 911.
Yes. Yes, that's something that's huge. And there's actually a couple of CPR training centers out here, and we'll get those up on our Facebook pages too, on Community Viewpoint Facebook pages, so that people can know that. And I think any contractor, Home Depot, there's information they can find out about the security fences.
Mm-hmm.
I think most home improvement stores will sell them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually we're partnering with some pool cleaning companies to get the information out to their customers. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Do we know how many houses there are in Nye County that have pools, or like a percentage? But I mean, I think there's more than we think there is, probably.
Right. Well, if you have any viewers that are pool cleaning company type people, they can give me a call, because I'd like to get some information in their hands so that we can get it into their customers' hands.
Absolutely.
What about I got these cute little ducks that they can give them. It says, always
that's awesome.
Your ducky.
That's awesome. And then is there like a page where they can go, like where there's like a checklist maybe, where they can go and like a pool safety something where there's this information?
Actually,
We're a pool
it's
owner.
Pool Safely is the name of the
Oh, that's great. Okay.
yeah, it's the name of the website that we're gathering all of our information from.
All right. Well, I just got the 1 minute. So I want to get all your information out again, and then we're going to go into a second segment to talk about something pretty serious. Is that okay with you if we do that?
Absolutely.
And we'll dedicate the whole entire next episode to the suicide prevention, because there's a lot that's going on with that. So let's give your phone number one more time.
So one other thing is,
go ahead.
Not just about pools. Drowning happens in the tub too. So those safety seats, they're not.
Oh, yes.
They are not a replacement for adult supervision. So I just wanted to make sure that,
you are absolutely right,
happen inside the tub. So, but yes.
And it's kiddie pools, tubs.
Mm-hmm.
A shower that's not draining.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Carla. And we'll be back with you next week. Thank you so much.
Walking like a one-man army, fighting with the shadows in your head, living out the same old moment, knowing you'd be better off instead. If you could only say what you need to say what you need to say.
1 in 6 adults has a mental illness.
And we face a stigma that can be as painful as the disease itself.
Change a mind about mental illness, and you can change a life.
Say what you need to say.